Yo, what's going on, folks? It is KspadeTheProspect, the leader of the Wolfpack himself, the CEO of the Made Man crew here on the Xbox One. Hey, look at your screens, man. I'm out here running with the Brodies. I'm out here with TMM Blue. And before I jump into any commentary, man, let me let y'all know, because a lot of people don't really know the backstory of how this whole thing came to be, or even why it came to be. So y'all know me, man. I kind of like to talk. I don't know if you know that, but I like to talk. So let's go back. Let's go way back. The Made Man started off being the name of our game battles Call of Duty clan way back on Modern Warfare. COD for the original Modern Warfare. And, you know, our clan tag was just MADE. It was made, we was the Made Man, and that's just kind of, you know, what me and my friends called our little group. So I got my first taste of crew mode on NBA 2K10. I didn't really play that with friends. So the Made Man wasn't born on, you know, the 2K10 cycle. But I was telling my friends, when 2K11 drops, y'all got to cop, you know, we got to do. I already had it figured out. I had the vision in my mind. And then 2K11 dropped, and, you know, we ported the Made Man over to NBA 2K, thank God, because turns out I wasn't nearly as good at Call of Duty as I thought I was. And then we was just able to build something that was pretty great. Started out just being a group of friends, and then it continued to progress as, you know, my friends got their feel of 2K and moved on. Really, I think ultimately what happened is all those years without crew mode just made most of my real life friends just say, I'm good. Like, it's really nothing else on the disc I really even want to play. And, you know, it took away the one mode I really wanted to play. I'm out. And I was just the last fool that was just like, well, I guess I'll play Park or Blacktop or All-Star Team Up or Regular Team Up or whatever the hell they had in the game while crew mode was gone, at the same time being the biggest, loudest voice to try to get the mode back. And when it returned, of course, you know, I was still there. So anyway, this year I was like, man, what's the next step of progression? Like, the Made Man is a, you know, respected name in the community. Say what you want to say. You know, I know everybody not fans of us, and that's cool. You know, that's to be expected. But if you play the mode, you probably know who we are. Every once in a while, I get somebody to try me up and be like, who are you? We don't even know who you are. And I'll be like, bruh, that speaks volume. If you don't know who I am in this mode, that speaks volumes for how green you are. Because I've been around. I've been doing this. I've been a staple in this community for a long time. So I said, this year I wanted to do something different. I said, what's the next step? And I said, ooh, we should branch out and make some other versions of the Made Men, or like subsidiaries, for lack of a better term. I don't know what I'm trying to say right here, but I wanted to make some more teams. So I wanted to make another team on Xbox, and I wanted to make a PlayStation 4 team as well. So people was always hitting me up like, Spade, when that PS4 team coming? And I was like, I'm not really even sure if I'm gonna do it now, because what I realized after I had the idea was I had a very specific way I wanted to do it. And just like with everything else in my life, I kind of like to learn things the hard way. I've always been that guy. I didn't really want to do it the easy way. The easy way is just meeting a team that's already a team, already established, and go, yo, you know, I would like to rebrand y'all as the Made Men. You know, you run, you know, under our name or whatnot, you'll still get the perks of running with TMM. You know, whatever resources that I have is readily available to you, and it'll grow everybody. And I think I could have got somebody to go for that, and that would have been the easy way. But nah, not your boy. That made too much sense for me. I instead said I want to take a group of complete strangers that don't know anything about themselves, and I want to try to make these guys a team. I want these guys to find chemistry, build relationships on and off the court. Essentially the same thing that's happening in the 2K League. Obviously on a much smaller scale, these guys aren't being paid or anything like that. But I just felt like this is how you start and grow a team organically. I could have easily just went and rebranded a team. To me, that's a little different, because in those guys' minds, they was always going to be whatever they was before they came TMM. You know, it really, the name would have been, I don't know. I'm just a weird guy. To me, I can paint over a school bus and put, like, you know, my logo on it, and then if you look through the paint, you still gonna be able to see a little bit of that bright ass orange or yellow or whatever the hell color a school bus is nowadays. Them shits is changing, by the way. I guess it's still yellow, but you get my point. And I even hate sometimes when I see church buses and I can look under there and I still see like the bus number. I'm like, damn, you know, they should have probably went with a few more coats of primer. But anyway, I didn't want to do that, man. I wanted to do this strange ass thing that I've done this year, and I think for the first year of it, I think it was a success. You know, ultimately, I wanted this team to be a leaderboard team, and they got close to sniffing that leaderboard success, and then you know, they ran into their own set of problems, and for whatever reason, they never was able to get this team on the leaderboards. But you take, how long has this game been out? I don't know, 7, 8 months ago. These dudes ain't even know each other. They didn't even know each other. So, you know, I gotta credit these guys for one, just being willing to even try this extremely weird, maybe even flat out dumbass idea that I had, and then ultimately, like, finding some way to keep it together. It's teams of folks that's friends in real life that can't stay a team. Man, Pro-Am teams disband every day. I can't even look at our last 10 games played and see all names. At least one of those teams is gonna say disbanded team. Like, these dudes really just be giving up and quitting, like, we lost a couple of games, I'm out. So, you know, the fact that this team was able to stick together and build the relationships that I hope they was able to build. Look, man, these guys would be on the game playing other games together. And again, I say, months ago, they didn't even know who each other was. The only thing they had in common was that they knew me and they wanted to play Pro-Am. That didn't make them friends or allies or any of that other crazy stuff. So that's that. So let me talk a little bit about these guys. I should probably start off talking about Left Cross. This dude is probably, he's probably me. Like, he's the only person I can compare him to. He's weird in a nerdy way. At the same time, he's like new age nerd. Like, when you think old nerds, back in the old days, pocket protectors, glasses, I ain't talking that kind of nerd. I'm talking about a cuss your ass out nerd, but then I just say some stuff and you'll be like, wow, how the hell do you know that? Like, why do you have this information in you? How do you know that? That kind of nerd, the new age nerd. So anyway, Cross is my numbers guy, and if nothing else, it would be, I honestly think this, it would be a tragedy if the 2K League didn't somehow or another reach out to Cross about something. And when I tell you he's a numbers guy, this dude, I didn't ask him to do this. This is just something that he felt like doing, which is more proof, if you need it anymore, that he's a nerd. But he collects data for just his own personal use. So you can ask him, hey man, the few times that I've run with you guys, I wonder what I was shooting. He said, oh, well, you shot this from the field, you shot this from 3, you averaged this many points per game, you got, and I know what you're gonna say, folks gonna be like, oh yeah, well the game kinda keeps that stuff. Nah. This man will tell you, for the guys on blue that's got multiple archetypes, he can tell you your shooting percentages per archetype. I mean, he can tell you that you're more efficient from the right side of the court than the left side of the court. And he just does this because he just wants to. And that shit is weird to me, but I like it. I really like it. So I kind of got Cross being my eye in the sky, so to speak. Like I said, I can only spread myself so thin, I can't always be there. And a lot of times when they go through their struggles or whatever, I talk to Cross and I said, what's going on? He said, man, you know, we're just playing bad. And when I'm looking at the numbers, and I tell him all the time, that's the dangerous things about numbers. You gotta have a guy like Cross, and then you gotta have a guy like me that'll say, nah, I don't care what the numbers say. Get that shit out of here. I know what I see when I watch. This guy right here doesn't play good defense. You know what I'm saying? I just used that for an example. But Cross would be the guy to say, when I'm looking at the, I'm looking at the numbers and our shooting percentages are up. I don't understand why we're struggling right now. And that's why even in real life sports, I say I like having the analytics, but I feel like it's got to be a mix of the analytical guys and just that old school hard-nosed Bobby Knight throw a chair at somebody type of, like, you need those two guys to work together. And that's why I feel like me and Cross kind of work good together. Now his right-hand man in this thing is probably Cam. Now Cam, he's a little live wire too. Cam is a debater to the point that he would debate anything with anyone, which obviously can get annoying at times. The way him and Cross get along baffles me, because Cross got all the numbers and Cam don't give a shit about him. He's still gonna want to debate you. But these two guys make it work. Now Boom is the other guy you see on the floor right now. Boom, I don't know how he fits in this thing. He's a relatively quiet guy. Doesn't say too much, just kind of does his own thing. You know, every once in a while he'll crack one of those jokes that take a while to hit you, where you like, hey, wait a minute, was you just trying to be, you know what I'm saying? He'll hit you with one of those. Now, obviously, you see Philly on the court running with us, and you see me again with my son's account. Now, look, let me explain this. Ever since that live stream where I was able to play with my son's account, I kind of like using this guy. I do. Now, you also factor in the fact that I'm not on the MPBA rosters for TMM Red. It's a lot of downtime if I want to play Pro-Am. I really don't have a team right now. Most of my team is in NPBA, and because I'm the team owner of TMM Red, I don't have the liberty of being able to say, oh, well, I just play with my friends over here, or I'll go do this. So you got my son who's got this account with this player, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Since I've been on his account, I've been swiping the shit out the credit card. I have, you know, leveled this guy up way higher than my son had him. But I'm still, you know, trying to get badges. He didn't have any badges maxed out or whatever. And I wouldn't have made the guy this way, but I mean, at the same time, he's got some things about him that I like. What's killing me right now is if I hit my son up and go, let me use your account tonight, I'm gonna play Pro-Am or whatever. And then he'll say, well, can I get on your account? Which is fine. It depends on what he's playing though. Like if he wants to play, I don't know, like a quick play 2K match, now I'm a little worried. Because if he go out there and get that work, you're not going to be able to convince whoever he's playing that it ain't me they just beat. So I got that in the back of my mind too. That sounds bad, but I'm just being honest with y'all. So what he does is he'll play Fortnite from time to time, but ultimately he plays a lot of Grand Theft Auto on my account if I'm on his account. And he always, as he gets older, man, he got this little cool about him. He'll just be like, Daddy, somebody keeps sending you a party invite. And I'll be like, just show offline. Like, show offline, bro. I mean, weird stuff. They'll be playing Grand Theft Auto and he'll come in and say, hey, somebody just joined our session. Show offline. Like, and it makes me feel so Hollywood, but I'm telling him, as long as you on my account, if you're not me, show offline, please, for both of our sake. But anyway, I'm out here rocking out with TMM Blue. That's a whole lot of talk, man. But, you know, like I said, man, I kind of like to talk. That's the whole gist of what's going on out here in this gameplay. From time to time, I would ask those guys, can I run with them? Like, hey, if y'all run tonight, if y'all need one, let me run. It does two things. For one, it allows me to still play. And most importantly, it allows me to kind of have an eye on what they're doing. Sometimes I feel like I can give advice that they need. I can say, well, we're playing this wrong. And look, in the gameplay you guys are watching, it's going to be times that you're going to see our chemistry is way off. Because we play differently. Even though we both got made on our chest, they don't play exactly like we play. So it's things, especially on the defensive end, where I'll go, oh shit, I thought we was passing that off. Or I might even just flat out tell them, we got to pass that off. Like, it makes no sense for us to try to fight through that screen or whatever. So every chance I get, if I can play with these guys, I want to. I enjoy it. I wish I could do it on my own account, because obviously I know my build better than this player that my son got here. But I like the opportunity of being able to run with him. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's another reason why I didn't pull the trigger on the PlayStation 4 team. Because I ain't even created a character on PlayStation 4 this year, because I was so busy over here grinding out the 3 players that I got on my account. And then furthermore, it's like, if I start a team over there and I don't get the opportunity to every once in a while moonlight with that team, run with that team, see how things are going, I don't know that they represent the brand right. Like, I don't want them to, you know, lose a game and just jump right into the messages and send some, like, you know, weird, hateful message like, you a punk ass and I hope you know what I'm saying? That's really not what we do over here. So at the same time, not only is it a standard on the court, I mean, you want to try to win as many games as possible. Obviously, nobody wins them all. You know, you want to try to learn from your mistakes. And also, off the court, it's a certain level of professionalism I want the guys to carry themselves with. And that might not even be fair, but I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm being real transparent. Y'all very rarely, and I say rarely because I got my flaws, and it's days, you know, like they say, it's days when I got time too. You can hit me on the wrong day and get your ass cussed out, but for the most part, man, I let a lot of stuff go. I see the comments. I know people say this, that, the other. At the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's something that I have to remind myself of a lot. And I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. So for these guys, they're not as seasoned as I am with people just trolling you for no reason. Like, you know, anybody else can probably play a game and lose a game, no big deal. You got to understand that's really not a part of my reality. If I lose a game, I'm going to get messages on the Xbox. I'm going to get tweets. There's been times that we've lost games and people come into my live stream and be like, yeah, why don't, you know. So, I mean, it's still days that I don't handle it the best, but for the most part, man, I'm kind of used to that stuff. I let that stuff go, and you got a whole group of guys that this is new to. Everybody just out here trying to play a game. We want to win, but at the end of the day, we're just playing a game. So I want to make sure I can be there and just say, hey, let that slide. Don't reply to that. Don't send that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. That's just me being the old guy. Anyway, enough chit chat, man. This game right here, this wasn't, our opponents in this game, they wasn't the best. You know, like, it wasn't a top tier team. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for this particular game right here, I was glad it wasn't, because it was a lot of miscommunications, it was a lot of chemistry issues, and it was just things we was trying to work through, you know, throughout the game. Now with Philly running with these guys, Philly, anytime Philly comes over, they got another guy on TMM Blue named Clamp. Clamp is not in the lineup, obviously, because him and Philly play the same position. And I watched Clamp play, and I told Philly one time, I said, yo, you gotta watch the way you do things, because Clamp is a sponge around you. Like, I'm watching Clamp play, and I'm seeing him do a lot of the things that Philly do. Both good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Both good and bad. So, anytime Philly comes over, I feel like Philly gets a chance to share that knowledge, and he's a real vocal guy on the court. I've said this a long time ago. He's really good at calling out mismatches, letting you know who your read is. Like, if you driving and the defense is crashing, he's gonna call out the icon sometimes. He's really good at that stuff. So anytime me or Philly or anybody from Red, if they get the opportunity to run with Blue, I like it, because I feel like it's just a little bit of more knowledge to pass around, and they real receptive to it. They don't be like, oh, we don't want those guys up. Anytime somebody can run, it just seems to be a real good relationship for the most part. I mean, you know, obviously, I'm not finna sit here and paint this perfect picture like it's never any spats, because it's spats. It's spats within TMM Red, it's spats within TMM Blue, and it's spats between the two teams. Because I think a lot of guys on TMM Red, they want the guys on Blue to do things like we do so much. And I always have to be that guy right there, kind of bridging the gap and be like, hey, these guys aren't us. Like, we want them to, at some point, build a chemistry that we've got, but these guys just met each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give them time, and sometimes you got to let them learn shit the hard way, which is the toughest thing for people to do. It's been tough for me. It's a tough part of being a parent. I was just telling, me and Nudini was just talking on the phone the other day, and I was telling him, the toughest thing about being a parent is telling your kids, I told my son that being a parent is like playing a video game and watching somebody else play the game that you've already played, and you know how to beat the game, and they not listening to you. That's really what it's like to be a parent. So sometimes I had that same feeling with TMM Blue. I'll say, hey, you guys probably don't want to run this mix of arts. And, you know, I get a little bit of pushback, like, hey, we believe we can be competitive with whatever. And I'm like, all right. I mean, in my mind, I don't think that's a good idea, but I want them to try it their way. And if they try it and they don't have success, I want them to man up and go, you know what, we tried it our way. That shit didn't work. And now I see what Spade is talking about. So it's a thing. Like, anyway, y'all, I've been rambling. I've been talking a whole lot. The video's about to end soon. We up a cool dub, man. You know, we came together. We was able to get this one right here and make it work. I got a few more videos of me using my son's account and running with TMM Blue. So this won't be the last time you'll see me in the lineup, or even these guys running with me, as Cross Controller dies there for a minute. God, I hate when that happens. But anyway, man, just kudos to those folks. And anybody who didn't know the story of TMM Blue and how they came about, I know I get a lot of questions about the PlayStation team. Hopefully this video, if nothing else, it gave clarity as to why I wanted to start it and why I started it this way. Because I've had folks that say, yo, you know, hit us up. Like, I got a team, we already E4. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do with this, it would have been perfect to be like a TV show. It would have been dope to see the behind the scenes of these strangers trying to make this shit work, man, because I'm telling you, they got some days that I'm sure they was hating me as well as each other. I know they were. But this video, man, we're gonna draw it to a close. I've done enough chit chat. The guys was able to get the dub. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, bang the like. I say that all the time, and y'all really don't be doing it like that, man. It's free. It don't cost you a thing to hit that like button. A little thumbs up, click it. And if you're new to my channel, man, hit subscribe. That's all I got for today. I will have more soon. I'm out the next time, y'all. Peace.